Welcome to the Law, Your Money, and You. I'm Roberta Saphire, an attorney in Sharon, Massachusetts.
And I'm Camille Barron, a healthcare advisor and financial coordinator, also in Sharon, Massachusetts. And we have some guests today from almost on the other side of the country, three lovely young ladies, Roberta, who are going to be enlightening us with some of the wonderful things that are going on in their lives.
Yeah, well, they're from Arizona, all three, and you're not seeing double. They happen to be identical twins, but one of them is known for our Law, Your Money, and You for the past 5-6 years. She was one of the original contributors in the Police Officers Are Our Friends book. Nicole Spreitzer, raise your hand. And then we got Katie Spreitzer, and she's been all over, more than her podcasts. They've been podcasts all over. And the middle one is my granddaughter, Ariella, who's been on the show before. They are 3 high school graduates, and we're going to talk about graduating in another town, city, state, across the country, and what they found COVID and where they're going and what they're doing, and it's just wonderful. This is a good sample of bright teenagers. Welcome, girls.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wait, did we say welcome? Okay, so Camille introduced herself, I introduced myself, I introduced the kids. That's it. No, that's not it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's start by telling us a little bit about yourselves. Go for it.
Well, hi, my name's Katie. You guys already introduced me. But like Roberta was saying, I do have my own podcast with my friend Melanie. We are pretty successful in my high school, so I'm pretty proud of that. I also, I also like to work out, and I plan on going to Arizona State University next year.
Yeah, but there's a special college there. What is that college?
There's an honors college. It's called Barron. And so I am also in that honors college. Nicole's also in it as well. You'll get to hear more about it from her. But yeah, I'm studying sustainability there.
Fantastic.
You have to be bright. Okay, now let's go to the middle kid, which is my beautiful granddaughter that I'm so happy that they chose here to vacation. And I want you all too to tell, how come you chose Boston? Because a lot of times kids graduate, they go on a trip to another country or to New York, etc. But you picked Boston, and not just because Camille and I are here.
That's the main reason. It is the main reason.
So when we were deciding where we wanted to go, there were a few factors that came into play. I'm Ariella, by the way. I know they said that. We were looking at like New York for a little, but COVID definitely has left an impact on a lot of states. And Boston right now, I feel like has been going more back to what we call like normal life than New York is. So those were like the places we were in between. And on top of that, we have Camille and like you guys here. So it just makes more sense to be here. And there's also like the city, we wanted to see it, and it's so beautiful. We got to take the T for the first time.
You did get to see it quite a few times this week, haven't you? At least
Yeah.
What college are you going to?
I'm going to the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Terrific.
Yeah, and that was your top choice, and you just visited it for the first time.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. It was so pretty. I'm so excited for next fall.
Oh,
okay,
wonderful.
let's go to our next girl, Nicole. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
Let's go to Nicole.
I'm Nicole, Katie's twin, as you can see. And I also, again, as Roberta said, have drawn in the police books that you guys have published throughout. And apparently, I didn't know this, but there is 24 published books with my drawing in it. So that was around 6 years ago, and I'm just like so honored to be a part of it. And as Katie said, I am going to Arizona State University at the Barrett Honors College, and I will be studying biomedical engineering. So hopefully I stick with it, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm also extremely excited for the fall as well.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Congratulations to all of you. And I
Thank
know that
you.
it sounds like the two of you, you twins, have, you've selected a field there's going to be a great demand, and there is a lot happening in the
Yeah.
world around both of
Definitely.
those. Was that a factor in your selection of a major?
I have to say yes, just because I mean, like 50 years ago, sustainability wasn't a big hit as it is now. But I think that because we've become a lot more environmentally aware, that's definitely a greater push, because I know that Arizona State University has like one of the best majoring programs if you are interested in sustainability. So because of that, I was like, you know what, we'll just go to Arizona State University, and we'll also get the amazing education that I want while being able to help future generations and hopefully impact the future, because this is like a very urgent issue now.
Sure
Now
is.
tell us what this sustainability is, because I don't remember any college offering anything like that before.
No, definitely. So sustainability, it's more like, I guess you could say I'm a tree hugger, helping out the earth, a couple things that kind of include sustainability could be like recycling, or I guess using solar panels, turning off the water if you're not using it, just ways to be resourceful, trying to sustain the resources or keep the resources that we have, and being able to use them for future generations. That's kind of like the term for sustainability, I guess you could say. But yeah, being able to keep the resources that we have instead of just using them all up and not having any more left.
Terrific. And how about you, Nicole? Tell us a little about your field and what really inspired you to select that.
Of course. So biomedical engineering is helping people while creating different products in the healthcare system. And I think I was interested in it when I actually became the president of HOSA at my school. There's a club called HOSA, which is Health Occupation Students of America. And I was always interested in medicine because our mom was a nurse back before she had triplets. And so because
Wait a minute, there's another one of you?
yeah.
Another
There-
one?
Yes, his name is Josh, and he's our brother.
He's
So
outnumbered. He's outnumbered.
yeah, definitely. So, yeah, my mom had 3 kids. Okay. So because of that, just because I was a part of this club and I was running the club, I just got very into the eyes of medicine, and that's when I decided like I want to help people, so I'm still not sure if I want to go and become a doctor or a nurse or just be a scientist within the regards of biomedical engineering. So I'm just excited as to where college takes me, because you learn a lot in college and there's a bunch of different values that can also be gained from it as well.
Now, how about this lovely young lady in the middle? Do you want to tell us a little bit more about what your future holds for you? At least how
You
you're
know,
thinking now?
That is a very good question. I know I'm going to college. As I said, I'm going to University of Wisconsin, but within that, I'm not quite sure what the future has in store. I'm kind of interested in the law right now. I'm looking to get my real estate license over the summer, so we'll see if that happens, how that goes.
But she also got #1 in the state for speech and debate that she's been in. I always said that she's going to be the first woman president of the
Yes.
United States.
It's a
But
very, that's quite a talent, because you and I spoke about this last night, Ariella. It's one thing to have a prepared speech, and you're delivering a prepared speech, as hard as that is sometimes. But I think the challenge with what Ariella has been able to accomplish is, we talked about the ability to think on your feet. So when you're in a debate or even just any conversation and you're hit with something, you have to think right then and there for a response. And that is not easy, is it, Ariella?
Yeah, I think.
I can say it's not easy. I just talk. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, she's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned a lot from speech and debate, so I'm really glad I did that activity.
That's an important skill. No matter what field you choose, that's going to be important and quite an asset.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, speech and debate is more than debating somebody or speaking. It's like conveying the feeling of what you're talking about, and you're making the people feel like they're part of it. It's almost
Yeah.
like a performance acting. But that's nice. Now, let's get, how did COVID change your last year? Like even the graduation, your decision on where to go, everything that you did. Tell us how it's changed or hasn't changed, etc. Then we'll get to your visit into Boston.
Oh my goodness. There was so much that changed. I feel like, for starters, like there were two different programs you could do at our school. There was a Zoom online program, which I did, and then there was this program called Ingenuity, which was completely online, which both Katie and Nicole did. So you have two total different perspectives with us. But for me, we got the last quarter of the school year in person, which was nice, but everything was still like masks on, social distance. So we had part of school, but we didn't have the full thing back, but it was still nice to be back in person. With graduation, like I know people that didn't go to graduation still. Like one of our valedictorians didn't come to graduation and didn't walk because they named everyone's names out loud, but not everyone wanted to go because COVID, which is totally understandable. But it was outside, social distance, masks, which was nice. So they
Did
have
it start
been.
to rain? And
It did. It started to rain in
very
Arizona.
windy.
Arizona never rains.
Yeah.
So I've been saying the epitome of our year was a rain during our graduation in Arizona.
and windy too. You
Yeah,
could see
rain,
people's
wind,
hats
and
flying
sand.
off.
Hats came off and everything.
Yeah, my cat fell off. I had to
Yeah.
get out of my seat and go pick it up.
It's like keep on holding it on your head or else it'll fly off.
Yeah. Katie and Nicole had Ingenuity though, the program they did online.
It was all totally online, so we had no teachers to really help us out. We didn't have a lot of friends doing the program as well. So it was all self-learning, like you had to teach yourself and understand the concepts. So it was pretty difficult in the beginning because we didn't have as many friends as a virtual student would with other students because we were just all on our own. So I think that Josh included, our brother, and the two of us, we definitely kind of built a greater connection just because we were all in this together. And so we were all doing the same schooling system. And so we just got through with it, pushed through, and finished the school year.
Yeah, it was very self-disciplined though. So if you're not really focused on school and your motivation isn't there, this program wouldn't have been for you. But because we are passionate about getting good grades and I guess learning, we were able to do this program, and it really like saved us time. Time management was super easy. If we wanted to go out on like a trip or something, we can always just complete the schoolwork later. So I think that was one of the big bonuses of why we chose that program.
Was there a certain qualification process that you had to go through in order to demonstrate that you were capable of performing well in that kind of an environment?
No, any student could choose to be a part of that program. It was just kind of what the student preferred. Because for Ariella, they offered the Zoom classes as like more like a replacement for the Ingenuity classes, because not a lot of students would have wanted to do the Ingenuity like we did, because there is no interaction with students and there's no videos and you can't see your teachers and there's no possibility of going back on campus. But because it was our senior year and we were starting to get senioritis, we're like, you know what, it's okay. We'll just do all our classes online and we'll save us a little bit of time.
Did you have an advantage? What are your advantages and disadvantage in being a twin? Except I have to say, from observing the two of you, and they've been staying with us for the past few days, they're just wonderful. It's like one will say something, the other will say something too. No, neither one ever interrupts the other. Even if they eat an apple, one takes a bite, hands it to the other. Just nonchalant. It's chalant. It's just amazing. So, are you unusual in your twinship, or what? What do you know? What do you know? What's been the better part of it, and would you have changed? Although I don't know if you'd change anything, but tell us, because we've never had twins on before.
Yeah, I think we wouldn't really change anything just because where we're at, like we really understand each other on like a chemical balance, you know, like we have this thing called like twin telepathy where we're thinking the same thing, you know, like if we're feeling something like you want to eat Italian, I was thinking the same thing, you know? So it's like this connection that we have is pretty cool because a lot of people don't have that as well. And it's also like a built-in best friend. So if we
No,
have like
built-in, I like that, a built-in best friend. Are there
Yeah.
any friends that you have that the other one doesn't like, or do you like the same people too?
I would say genuinely we like the same people.
We have the same kind of friend group. I mean, I may talk to one person that Nicole doesn't talk to, and vice versa, but we relatively have the same friend group.
But Nicole draws, her drawings are exceptional. What do you do? Or you just don't want to show her up?
Yeah, I don't know.
Run.
I do like to exercise a lot. I was on the cross country team for like 3.5 years. Actually, no, just kidding. 2.5 years. And then before that, we played a bunch of volleyball, but I'm more into like the athletic side, even if it's like hiking or cycling. And then Nicole's a very artistic person. I feel like that kind of personality difference is what keeps us apart. It's something that's definitely noticeable, and you can kind of distinguish each person with their different personality traits because of it.
You have different personalities?
Yes.
Oh,
we
you're
do.
very emphatic about that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, no, definitely.
There's just some differences that are very obvious, I think. If you get to know us a little bit more, you realize, oh man, like I don't know, Katie's very open when she meets someone new, but Nicole, like myself, I'm not as open when I meet new people.
Nicole's very forward in what she says, trying not to insult each other, but you know.
And
Tell us about your visit to Boston. What you like? This is an unusual thing too. They like historic places, and one of the first things that they wanted to see was Plymouth Rock. But
Yeah.
and what I found, I went with them because I love Plymouth. But what I found is that I don't think there was one person with a mask on down there. A few hundred people visiting Plymouth Rock, and nobody had a mask. But go ahead, let's finish up with telling what you visited, what you liked the most, and Boston will be happy.
I guess Ariella, you can go.
I love Boston. Oh my gosh, my favorite parts. I do not know. We came in and from day one, we were doing something all day, every day. There was like no stop. And it was great. It was the best thing ever because we were always doing something amazing.
How about the trolley? Your first
Oh my gosh, it's horrible because we
commuter
got
rail, their first commuter rail.
yeah. Oh, the train. Yeah, we went on the commuter rail for the train. That was fun. And then we went in and we got trolley tour tickets. And we waited for like 20 minutes for this trolley to come. And then the trolley came. We were so happy. We get on the trolley. They're like, this is the wrong trolley tour. There's 2 other Boston trolley tours and you're on the wrong one. So we waited that all time for it. But the commuter trail was really cool. And it was actually really like efficient and it was running smoothly. They were trying out a new system while we were here. We like heard one of the workers say, but it was running like really effectively and our timing lined up so perfectly for that. Like we would miss one and then we would go to the train station anyways and it would be running late too.
It's
So
talking about going to South Station and going into Boston with the MTA commuter rail and the trolley trains of the Boston one. But you kids also went on the duck tour.
yeah.
That was amazing.
That tour was great. And we were in the ocean and there was literally a line of ducks. There was like a mom duck at the front, a dad duck at the back, and it was a line of baby ducks all in a straight line. It was amazing. It was great.
Imagine that.
What your favorite parts?
And you
we
went
did a
to
little shopping, I know that.
huh?
Weird shopping.
Newbury Street was just a line.
Oh yeah, they hit Newbury Street. Tell
Yeah.
me about
Right.
Newbury Street.
Hours.
That
Was it
so
crowded?
No, I don't think it was as crowded
Mediocre.
as people said it normally is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
definitely.
There were people and there were some lines, but overall the lines were like not that bad. It was like I'm sure Newbury Street is normally more packed than we saw.
Mhm.
I think we lucked out on the lines.
Did the people have masks, like in Plymouth, they
In
didn't
the
really-
stores, yeah,
Yeah,
I think there were
even-
more masks in Boston on Newbury Street. There were a lot of masks. We went to Harvard Square.
There's a lot of
Most
masks.
people had masks there.
Tell them about the Boston Public Library, which I find really disappointing.
Oh, well, because of COVID, you were only able to check in and check out books. So we weren't actually able to go inside, but we got a picture of it.
Of the outside.
Of the outside. So
Mhm.
that gets us kind of a plus. Yeah, but we went to Harvard Square, I think, yesterday. That was really cool. I think that one was my favorite part.
Really?
Even though I'm going to ASU, but seeing Harvard was really cool.
And what was so enjoyable about Harvard Square?
Just, I think the atmosphere as
Yeah.
well. Everyone's just bustling, you know, getting to work or going to a different
Studying,
place.
yeah.
Yeah, studying. You see a bunch of college kids like lying around the campus, and it's like, wow, like these kids, you know, like the acceptance rate was just so low, and so you can tell, like, or
No,
yeah.
Low.
Oh, I guess it was low.
Like 2%,
very- yeah, it's like
5%
to get
acceptance
into.
rate at Harvard.
Yeah,
So just watching that atmosphere was like, man, you know, like if I could go here, like
that'd be super cool.
it'd be really
Well-
like such a great opportunity.
What was one of the things that you were surprised at, like when you buy clothes, the sales tax?
There is no tax on clothes. And we were just really happy.
That
about
was crazy because I feel like I've heard it before. Like I feel like I've been told it before, but there was literally no clothes tax. We got the receipt, and I was like expecting it to be a tiny bit more because sales tax. Like we always have clothes.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
taxes on every single thing you buy in Arizona. So we looked at the receipt and we were like, wait a second, and there was no tax. And I was like, we should just come here to buy all our clothes.
That's what people do. They buy the clothes, they take the tags off of them, put them in their suitcase, and then and then when they leave, they don't declare it because then they'd have to pay a duty tax. But I mean, that's interesting. And we're called Taxachusetts. I don't know if we're still called Taxachusetts. They make it up on the income tax and the estate tax. But I mean, imagine shopping and no sales tax. In the stores, we're not lacking for customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also funny because you do see the impact of COVID still, because some stores will have their fitting rooms open and others will have their fitting room closed. We went to this store on Newbury Street. It had a line. We had waited in line to get in. We walk in and there are no fitting rooms. You can't try on clothes. So we're sitting there and like, how are you supposed to check out clothes when you don't know if they fit you? And there's a ton of people waiting to buy clothes, and it's just crazy. But at least there's no clothing tax.
Yeah. It's the best
Isn't
part.
that interesting, the difference between pre-COVID, during COVID? I think they're supposed to lift some of these mandates and go back to normal, but a lot of places are still requiring masks even after the no mask thing is out. They're going to keep it, which is interesting. What was your favorite? You even went to Chinatown in Boston, which
We
a lot of
did.
people.
Yeah.
They did things in an hour that people spend all day. They went from one place. In fact, Plymouth Rock, they have, what is it, a monument to the forefathers? It's the tallest monument in the world. And after
the
that,
United States.
we went down to Cape Cod, the railroad bridge, which is one of the few expansion bridges, suspension bridges. But what else? We don't want to leave out anything what they did in a short time. But what would you say that the COVID had anything, I'm going back to the school, had anything to do with your choice of colleges? And the main thing too, answer this, that Arizona starts school maybe 3 weeks before the Eastern schools. And I always thought that gave you an edge on the other high schools throughout the country. Do you feel that that had anything to do with your getting into where you wanted to? Because you were able to apply almost a month earlier?
I think it was more difficult applying for colleges in that the money that we would have to pay for would be more. So just because out-of-state college is higher in tuition for these out-of-state students, and because as a three, being a triplet, the three of us, we would all want to go to college, and
At
so
the same time, which is a huge financial burden. Because usually you have one kid and then you can save up some money, and then the next kid maybe the next year. But because it's all at the same time, it's very hard for us to think of like going out of state just because of it. But I do know that a couple of the kids who got into like UC schools or schools on the California coast, they weren't offering any scholarships because of COVID. So that was a big issue for some families deciding which places to go. That wasn't the case for us, just because we weren't really interested in going out of state, because we already knew that it would probably be a big financial burden for our parents. So we just thought that ASU was the
best choice.
Yeah, it was the smartest route in terms of saving money.
Are their parents lucky? These kids, they're as nice as they appear to be. And I told them, they said, what should we do to prepare? I says, nothing, just answer the questions and stay exactly as you are, and it'll go by fast. And it has gone by, and Camille usually winds up.
Is
but
it
we-
time?
Yeah, it's time.
Oh, boy.
We've got about a minute left.
Well, I'm very sad now because I was happy to see Ariella last night and meet these two lovely young ladies. And I know you're going to be leaving tomorrow. This has been great to have a chance to talk with you.
Ariella, I'm sorry to interrupt. Ariella's worked on things for us for the Lawyer Money and You. She's done surveys and talked to people,
Yeah.
guests. So we put everybody to work.
And, it's great. And I hope that we'll be able to see you very soon, even if it's not in person. Maybe you'll come back once you've started school in the fall and tell us all about that.
Yeah.
Of course.
To have you, and to our viewers, this is just another example of how students have made the most of a unfortunate situation, and they've come out ahead in many ways. If you have any questions or you'd like to have us listen to you, and if you have any ideas about future topics, please be sure to let us hear from you, because remember, this is your show, the law,
Your
money,
money.
and you.
You. Point. You. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Katie, Ariella, and Nicole.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.